Since I started staying home, it's been very nice because I used to do all my decorating usually in one day on the weekend when I was working full time. And it was fun. I definitely still enjoyed it. But since I've started staying home, I will bring my decor upstairs from the basement out of storage and just kind of take my time with it. I'll usually, start on a morning and go for a little while, but I'll put things somewhere and then I'll live with them like that, maybe move them around and just kind of take my time like throughout a week. And I really enjoy it that way. So these wreaths are ones that I made a couple of years ago. I think it was the first year that I was home. I got the florals from Michael's and I cut every little branch off. I got the wreaths from the dollar store, and then the ribbon either came from Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I can't remember, but it was a fun project and I'd actually like to do other ones too for other seasons. I just haven't gotten around to it, but I hang these up every fall. They're really beautiful. I just put command hooks, the really small ones, upside down on the inside of my cupboards, and then you just hang them that way. So it's super easy. They look like they're hanging from nothing almost, or they're hanging over the top of the cupboards, but you don't see the hook, so it's really beautiful. I also decluttered my fall decor, I think last year, I'm not really sure, because I had so many signs that said a lot of different words, and I don't hate those decorations at this point, but I just like things that look a little more natural and feel a little more natural, because it produces that feeling of coziness and warmth versus like reading a sign that says cozy or warm. So I do have a couple things around my home that still have words on them, but I try to pick ones that are meaningful, or the good, the true, and the beautiful, or what is it, the good, the beautiful, and the true, whatever the phrase is. I like them to point that way, but otherwise I'm trying to just do a lot of natural elements, and I think it's really beautiful. So I had this shelf that I had originally painted white, and I did the gel stain on it. It's like a wood gel stain from Hobby Lobby. It's like under $1 to get it. The only thing is that it is sticky, and I thought the first time I used it, I did it outside in the humidity, and so I thought maybe it was from that, but it's just sticky because it's a gel. So I always put matte Mod Podge over it once I'm done, and that pretty much takes care of it. I just don't want it to feel sticky to the touch. So I wanted to warm it up though, and then I ended up hanging it in our living room, putting some pumpkins on top, and it turned out really cute. I think I found this at the thrift store for like $1 or $2 last year, and it was green, and then like I said, I painted it white, and now it's like a warm brown. I also picked these up from Hobby Lobby, and of course they were the $7.99 ones. I was looking through them all because a lot of them are like $3.99, $4.99, and then I found these ones and I was like, I like these ones the best, and of course they were $7.99. So I don't mind though. I'll just buy things slowly as I'm able. However, they didn't fit on my hutch, so I was kind of disappointed. So I have to go back and get some smaller ones, but now I know kind of the style that I like, and there were a couple others that were smaller that I liked, so I'll just get those eventually. But I decided to keep these because I love them so much and put them on my desk. So this one I'll also have to do slowly, but I had these knobs on there that I've had for a while, and I still like them, but I just wasn't loving them on the desk, and I think these new ones will be more of the look that I'm going for. So I'm going to keep the old ones though, and probably use them on something else. So I thought I would elaborate a little bit on something I said, I don't know if it was my recent video or it was in a recent one, but about pursuing interest in your home. I wanted to talk about that topic just a little bit more because I didn't really go into it very much, partially because I knew it could be its own video. And you can break it down even further too. But first things first, I had said something about a comment I had gotten years ago about someone who had stayed home and said that you can only get so excited about like schedules and routines, and then how I felt like that misses the entire point of homemaking because there's so much more to it than just that. And so there's a lot of different avenues we could take that, but I think the primary thing I wanted to elaborate on is just the pursuing interest in your home beyond schedules and routines. So everybody, whether you are working full-time outside of the home or not, or you're a stay-at-home mom, everybody has to keep a schedule. Everybody has to eat, so there needs to be some cooking going on. Everybody has to clean from time to time. Like, everybody has to do those things no matter what. Personally, like about staying home, just like as a baseline idea is that I have to do those things anyway, and I don't have to worry about something huge extra on top of those things, so I can kind of take my time with that. And then yeah, I like that flexibility. So I found it really hard. I found it really, really challenging, even when I didn't have any kids, working full-time and then also doing the home management side, and even splitting things with your husband. Like, it's still just hard because he's also working full-time, and it's tiring, it's exhausting. So everybody has to do those things, and honestly, even women that are working full-time, they're managing those things. Maybe not well, like I wasn't managing it well. I'm not going to speak for other people, but I personally wasn't. But they're being managed. Like, the house is cleaned at least on occasion, you know, people are eating food, like those things are happening. Obviously, if people can manage that with a full-time job, we know that that doesn't take up all the time of a homemaker, you know. It can, if you want to do it really, really well and you really apply yourself to it. It can take all your time, you know. If you have kids, taking care of them and then taking care of the home to like a pristine level could 100% take all of your time. I'm not quite that, I don't know. For me, it's like the goalpost would keep moving, where if I felt like I needed to keep things completely pristine all the time, I would just keep moving the goalpost for myself. And so I would never feel like I'm doing enough. I would never feel like I've arrived. In fact, that's exactly what I did when I first started staying home, and it led to complete burnout. So, which everyone has different levels of what they can tolerate too. But I'm more of just like I don't want things to be dirty. I don't want it to feel dirty. But we do live here, and we do spend a lot of our time here because I am home. So it's not going to be as if things are just always in their place and it's completely spotless. Like, that just isn't a realistic expectation. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't spend all of my waking hours like only caretaking of children, husband, home. Like, there's time to be doing other things. And so I think that that's where it's really important to pursue things. And what you want to pursue is going to be different for everybody. There's been times since I've been home where I just need to focus on getting this particular homemaking rhythm down, or I need to figure out this problem area. Your goals and whatever you're working towards can 100% just be related to homemaking. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't need to be like a side gig. It doesn't need to be, you know, anything that makes money or anything. It doesn't need to be like that. I just think that humans need something that they're working towards or on, and a lot of the times it's going to involve something creative too. So applying that to homemaking, like when I really needed work in just the practical areas of life, what I like to do is think, okay, I need to figure out this system, and then once you kind of have a system down, how can I make it pretty, or how can I make it more fun? I don't know, adding music, like listening to beautiful music while you're doing the dishes, or just things like that. I don't know, so that make you feel more motivated. Or the kitchen sink area, like, this is a place that I'm going to spend a decent amount of time, so how can I make it more beautiful? Well, then that's a creative pursuit that you can then spend some time thinking about, looking for inspiration. It makes you feel inspired, you feel motivated. You know, the ball keeps rolling. So I think as homemakers, it's very important to feel inspired. I've heard a lot of older, not like old women, but just older than me, homemakers on YouTube saying that. They're like, if you don't feel inspired, it's not going to be as fun, and the repetitiveness is going to get to you. So there is some truth to like people who say, you know, you can only get so excited about schedules and stuff. That's obviously true, because that's not like, that's just very practical, and we're meant to create and, for lack of a better phrase, like do more than that. But I hate even saying it that way, because that's not like lowly work. Like, that's still really important. It's just that you are hitting something when you're saying like, oh, I felt like something was lacking. That's because it is. Like, we need to be inspired and we need to be creating. So whatever your goals are, even if they're very, very practical, because you have a lot of growth to do in the practical areas first, which that was me. I was like, I have to step back from creative pursuits so that I can figure out the practical side of things first. It's still finding a way to make that inspiring. So for me, that's beauty. I love to create beauty. I love thrifting. I love changing things that I've thrifted to make them my own, to make them fit how my home is, or how I want my home to look and feel. And so that was something that I could do kind of alongside learning practical skills. So let's say you need to figure out, I don't know, maybe you need like a cleaning schedule. That's what works for your brain. That's how you don't feel very mentally cluttered. Maybe you need, you know, specific things to do on a specific day of the week. You could make a really pretty cleaning checklist. I actually did this. I don't use it anymore because I ended up realizing that it didn't really work for me. I thought it did, but it didn't. So it's okay to pivot, you know, but just having something that you know you need to work on and then finding a way to make it inspiring, I think, is the key point here. And even beyond this, not even just having things of working towards, reading books, making time to read good books, old books, like just books with lots of wisdom in them. Even fiction. I don't read a lot of fiction, but it's actually something that I was just thinking about. I should read a little bit more of it. I just don't like a lot of the modern fiction, so I want to read some older stuff. But I just spending time doing that, because that's something that's going to inspire you in your homemaking. So that's what I love about being a homemaker, is that you have the freedom to do that. It's really hard because you're still in control of your time and nobody's telling you what to do, so it can feel overwhelming and like, oh, what do I do? But I just try to remember, like, pick a couple things that you know you need to work on, or that you want to work on, that you want to grow in, a couple areas relating to homemaking or not, probably will be in some way because it will affect your homemaking, and just do that for a while. Like, maybe you want to make it a goal to read for an hour every day, even if it's broken up because you have small children. That's going to inspire you. It's going to help you grow in wisdom. It's going to help you, you know, kind of stimulate your intellect, which definitely needs to be happening. Yeah, I just think I don't know, somewhere along the way, we've separated the intellect from the home, and we think that the intellect can only be used by like going to a class, going to a certain career or job, or I don't know. And it's just not true. It's not true at all. And I also, this is just a side note, but I know like most people are at work now, but my husband and I will sometimes drive around if he has a day off, like in the middle of the week, and like nobody's at home. Like the houses are all so quiet. They look so just unlively. And it's so weird to me. Like, I obviously know that people are at work, and that's fine, but it's so weird to me. Like, what is the point of the house and the home? It's, you know, and if you're gone all day and then you've got evening activities, you're basically there to sleep, and then you're maybe there on the weekends if you're not out and about doing things, which I was always like on the weekends. That's when I would run errands and try to get everything done that didn't get done during the week. It's just like, if you think about it, you know, hard for a few minutes, it's just very strange to me. And most people would probably agree, like, oh yeah, you could pursue a lot of things in your home. It's just that we've been so wired to think that that's not a place for that. So anyway, I don't know if all of that makes sense, but I think it's really important for people to pursue things in their home. Homemakers, you know, have an outpouring of your homemaking, that you're pursuing things that interest you, things that inspire you, do things in your home that inspire you, make your home beautiful, create. It's so important and it's crucial to the rest of your family too. And you can involve them. You can involve your kids in your interests, and that's really great too. It's really great for relationship bonding. So yeah, I just wanted to elaborate on that more. It's fall, or it's almost fall. We're heading towards that season, and I am just, this is like when I come alive. I just had a thought that next summer I want to work on homemaking more in the summer, because I found it really challenging. Like, I wanted to be outside a lot, and I think that's totally natural and what we should do. But I just found that I'm like, oh, like I'm not spending as much time in the house, so I'm not feeling as inspired. And like, we don't have a garden or anything, so I'm like, that probably would have helped. So there's just things that I'm thinking about for the next year homemaking, because I didn't feel very inspired throughout the summer, and it's not very fun when you don't feel very inspired. But being outside a lot definitely helped that. So now that we're heading into fall and winter though, this is like the time when I just have so many ideas, and I want to make my home cozy and make all the cozy food and all the good stuff like that. It gets a little easier for me right now, but then what's tricky is not taking on too much, so I have to make sure that I keep things in check. Yeah, I'm looking forward to what I'm going to be doing in my home and also sharing that with you.